I say, this old nuclear war business has been fertile ground for filmmakers over the years, hasn't it? Whether it's poking fun at the terrifying absurdity of mutually assured destruction and how easily one man can start a chain reaction that brings about the end of humanity, or using it as a high-stakes backdrop for a battle of wills between two conflicting worldviews, or even showing the devastating consequences of a full-scale nuclear exchange in grimly authentic detail. There's many different avenues to explore with this stuff, but one idea that's never really been tried before is, hey, how about we make a nuclear war movie about nothing at all? A film where nothing ultimately happens, there's no protagonist, no plot to speak of, and not even a central theme to grapple with. How about we constantly blueball the audience with a superbly tense and well-constructed intro that promises an incredible payoff at the end, but never actually give them a resolution, and instead just keep retelling the same events from different perspectives in a way that doesn't actually increase their understanding of what's going on, or reframe the narrative, which is usually the only reason to even do stuff like that. How about we make the ultimate war movie that has absolutely nothing to say about war, our misplaced faith in the systems that safeguard against it, or the flawed human nature which enables it to happen in the first place? That's right, we're gonna make a House of Dynamite. This movie has got to be one of the most frustratingly bizarre experiences I've had in a long time, because it combines a clear ability to craft a tense, unnerving and frighteningly realistic scenario that was obviously well researched and masterfully directed, populated by grounded and believable characters played by a superb cast of actors that most productions would kill to get, and then resolves to do fuck all with any of it.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
It's the ultimate blue ball scenario where the movie constantly teases me harder than Tatiana when I don't have enough money to pay for her, full package of services, always offering up the prospect of story progression and dramatic resolution but never actually delivering on it. Oh yeah, you want that payoff, don't you? You want it real bad. Well, tough shit, you can't have it. Story resolutions are for winners, and you're not a winner, you're a loser.
You bastard.
Ironically enough though, the only thing I really lost out on is the one thing I can never buy back. Time. So let's not waste any more of it and just get the plot summary over with. And this shouldn't take long because I only have to recap like the first 30 minutes of the movie anyway. So House of Dynamite kicks off with the detection of a missile somewhere over the Western Pacific. And at first, nobody in the US Strategic Command seems particularly alarmed by it. It's assumed to be just another rocket test by North Korea that'll splash down harmlessly over the ocean. But here's the problem. It doesn't. In fact, pretty soon it's confirmed to be on a ballistic trajectory towards the United States, and the most likely target is Chicago. An attempt to shoot it down with interceptor missiles fails, and pretty soon there's no way to stop it. I mean, if nothing else, it'll definitely sort out the crime statistics for Chicago, so there's always a silver lining to this particular cloud.
Son of a bitch!
Anyway, with just a few minutes left until impact, the race is on to understand where the missile came from and decide on an appropriate response. With military units mobilizing all across the world and tensions rising by the second, do they wait and see what happens next and possibly lose the chance to retaliate if more attacks are incoming? Or do they go for an all-out offensive against every potential enemy, hoping to decapitate them before they can launch attacks of their own? That is a very good question, dear viewer, and one that you're never going to get the answer to because every time the movie approaches the critical moment of decision, the narrative skips back to retell the whole thing from a different perspective.
I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
And it doesn't just do it once, oh no, it does it twice, spinning out the same 30 minutes of actual plot into an almost 2-hour movie that accomplishes, well, absolutely nothing.
Fuck.
And the thing is, I'm not against retelling a major event from multiple perspectives. In fact, it can actually be a pretty useful narrative tool when it's used properly, but there has to be a purpose behind it, and there isn't here. None of these different perspectives added to my understanding of what was happening, or reframed previously unexplained events in a new context to change my perspective on characters and their decisions, or even just gave me something new and interesting to think about. The mystery of who fired the missile and why is never answered. The question of whether foreign powers are looking to exploit the chaos is never answered. The possibility of an inside man sabotaging America's early warning system is never answered. It's a movie that leaves you with lots of questions, and the biggest one being, why the fuck did I just waste 2 hours on this?
Why?
And what's frustrating is that it gets off to such a good start, quickly establishing the main players and the situation they're up against, ratcheting up the tension and the sense of impending dread as it slowly dawns on everyone that this isn't a drill, it isn't a mistake, and it might just be the beginning of the end of the human race. Big grandiose stakes like that might have been almost melodramatic in the hands of a different director, but Kathryne Bigelow steers the first 30 minutes or so like the seasoned pro she is. She's not exactly a prolific director, and when I looked into it, she hasn't made a movie in like 8 fucking years, but if you've seen her work on The Hurt Locker or Zero Dark 30, you'll know how well she's able to balance tense action and human drama, and House of Dynamite is no different. By all accounts, the production did a lot of homework to properly understand the US military and the systems it uses to deal with situations like this, and it shows. I mean, personally, I've never commanded the American nuclear deterrent myself, which is almost certainly a good thing for the human race, but the processes, the chain of command, even the sets and the terminology all feel pretty believable, and I never once had my immersion broken. Performances are grounded, mature and believable, really adding to the sense of stakes and gravitas. Idris Elba, Rebecca Ferguson and Jared Harris are all superb actors, bringing their A-game for this one, and shit man, even Moses Ingram manages to be tolerable. Wonders will truly never cease. All of this is great and everything, but it's also what makes this movie so fucking frustrating, because there's clearly a lot of skill and talent behind it, but it's all for nothing because the film refuses to do anything meaningful with it. And I could live with all of that if I thought the movie had something interesting to say about its subject matter, but it really doesn't beyond the simple "nuclear war is bad" message. Yeah, I think most of the human race has grasped that already, thanks Kathryne. It's not really an indictment of a flawed system that allows some freak mishap to trigger a global war, or a critique of the kind of nuclear brinksmanship that was going on back in the 80s but is kind of irrelevant today, or even an exploration of human nature and the dangers of groupthink and paranoia. It just kind of exists, depicting its events with technical skill, forensic attention to detail and competency, but with no real overarching drive or purpose. And at the end of it all, I found myself asking the same question I had at the end of Civil War. What was the point in all that? I don't know. I don't think Kathryne Bigelow knows, and I'm pretty sure nobody who walked away from House of Dynamite knows either. And for me, that really is the biggest crime of all. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.